3 serious felony cases, a guilty plea involving aggravated robbery, a knife, threats against a police officer, and repeated evading charges, and then a surprising sentencing agreement. What happened inside this courtroom? And how did Edric Elijah Gross end up with all 3 sentences running concurrently? Stay with us to hear how the judge handled it.
So we've got 5 cases, 2 of which are going to be dismissed. You are Edric Elijah Gross, present with your attorney, Mr. Adams, and the state's attorney. Does the defendant waive formal readings of these indictments and arraignments here? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, sir.
In 26 CR 626, in summary, this indictment alleges that on or about March 11th, 2026 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the first-degree felony of aggravated robbery. Do you understand what you are charged with here, sir? It's yes or no. You understand what you're charged with? You have to speak out so that she has to hear you. Okay. You're facing a term of life imprisonment or any term of not more than 99 years or less than 5 years in prison. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand? You have to speak.
Speak up. You gotta speak up. $10,000. No, you're not getting a 10. He's giving you the range.
That's what you could get.
Right.
We're telling you what's possible. You understand what's possible here?
Yes.
There's an agreement that's been reached. You would be pleading guilty, sentenced to 10 years in prison to run concurrently with 2 other cases, and 2 cases will be dismissed. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
If I follow this, you have no right of appeal of your case. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead the discharge, sir? Guilty or not guilty? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Huh?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are guilty? Yes. Are you pleading guilty voluntarily?
Voluntarily.
And because you're guilty?
Yes.
All right. I'll show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1. Did you sign that?
Did you sign?
Understand it? Discuss it with your attorney. Are the contents true and correct?
Yes.
State's Exhibit 1 tendered without objection?
No objection.
Admitted. This states you're mentally competent to enter your guilty plea. It's freely and voluntarily made. You know what you've been charged with. The indictment's been read to you. You've read it. You are guilty of the crime charged and any lesser included offenses. You are giving up your right to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. Totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All true, so help you God. True?
True.
All right. And again, this states that on or about March 11th, 2026 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed the first-degree felony of aggravated robbery and stabbed the victim and threatened him and placed him in fear of imminent bodily injury or death, and you used and exhibited a deadly weapon, namely a knife, in the commission of this robbery. Is all of this true, so help you God?
Yeah.
Yes. An agreement has been reached where you would be found guilty, sentenced to 10 years in prison. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
If I'm going to follow this, you have no right of appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Anything else to add here?
Nothing.
If not, I'm going to find, sir, you were pleading guilty voluntarily to this aggravated robbery. You were mentally competent to do so. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted here to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this first-degree felony of aggravated robbery. I am following this agreement. You were hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 10 years. The judgment shall reflect an affirmative finding that a deadly weapon, namely a knife, was used in the commission of this offense. Do you understand what has happened here today, sir, in this case?
Yes.
All right. Next is 26 CR 627. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this? Can we proceed in summary with this indictment?
Yes, sir.
And we're going to take this one and 26 CR 628 together since this occurred on the same date. On or about March 11th, 2026. Can we take these together?
Yes, sir.
In summary, each of these two cases, 26 CR 627 and 628, similarly allege that on or about March 11th, 2026 in Jefferson County, Texas, you, Edric Elijah Gross, in 26 CR 627, committed the state jail felony of terroristic threat against a peace officer by threatening to commit an offense of violence, namely aggravated assault. And the victim was a peace officer of the Beaumont Police Department. You understand what you're charged with there?
Yes, sir.
And in 26 CR 628, this goes on to allege that also on or about March 11th, 2026 in Jefferson County, Texas, you committed evading arrest or detention by fleeing from a person you knew was a peace officer who was attempting lawfully to arrest or detain you. And paragraph 2 goes on to allege that you have 2 or more prior convictions of evading arrest or detention. One in 2019 out of County Court of Law 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, and the other on or about April 22nd, 2025 out of the 252nd District Court of Jefferson County, Texas. Paragraphs 1 and 2 of this indictment constitute a state jail felony as well as in the immediately previous indictment of terroristic threat that we reviewed with you in 26 CR 627. Each of these cases means because these are state jail felonies, if convicted, you face confinement in a state jail felony for any term of not less than 180 days or more than 2 years. In addition, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand? Agreements have been reached where you would be pleading guilty and sentenced to 1 year in the state jail in each case.
Yes, sir, on the state jail. Yes, sir.
I'm going to circle years here.
Thank you, Judge.
And these would run concurrently. So you would be sentenced to 1 year state jail in each of these two cases. Is that your understanding of the plan? Yes. If I follow these agreements, you have no right of appeal of your cases. Do you understand? Yes. And how do you plead in each of these cases of these state jail felonies? First of all, 627 terroristic threat against a peace officer. Is that true? Are you pleading guilty to that voluntarily and because you are guilty? Yes. And in 26 CR 628, the evading arrest or detention, are you and the 2 prior convictions of evading arrest, are you guilty of those allegations? And are you pleading guilty voluntarily and because you are guilty?
Yes.
It's yes or no, sir? Yes. You have to speak out so she can hear you because you have a soft voice. I show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 1 in each of these cases. Did you sign those documents, understand them, discuss them with your attorney? Are the contents true and correct? State's Exhibit 1 tendered into evidence without objection admitted.
No objection.
Okay, this state in each of these two state jail felonies that you are mentally competent to enter your guilty pleas. They're freely and voluntarily made. You understand what you're charged with. You're guilty of the crimes and any lesser included offenses. You are giving up your rights to a jury trial and the rights to the appearance, confrontation, cross-examination of witnesses. Totally satisfied with the representation provided by your lawyer. All true, so help you God. Correct. State's Exhibit 1 made a part of the record in each of these two cases. Anything else to add?
Nothing.
If nothing further in each of these two cases, in 26 CR 627 and 628, I find that the defendant has pleaded guilty voluntarily. He's mentally competent to do so. He understands and appreciates the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting his guilty plea in each of these two cases to find him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this state jail felony of terroristic threat against a peace officer in 627. You were hereby sentenced to confinement in the state jail for a term of 2 years. No, I'm sorry, state jail for a term of 1 year.
Yes, sir.
And in cause number 26 CR 628, you have pleaded guilty and true, respectively, to paragraphs 1 and 2 constituting the state jail felony of evading arrest or detention with prior evading arrest or detention convictions. You were mentally competent to do so. You understood and appreciated the consequences of pleading guilty. There was sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted in this case. And that is enough to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the state jail felony. In this case, I'm following this agreement. You were hereby sentenced to confinement in the state jail for a period of 1 year on this case. All of these sentences shall run concurrently.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand what has happened today, sir? On these 3 cases. All right, good luck to you. I have 2 dismissals on Mr. Road.
In the end, Edric Elijah Gross was found guilty in all 3 cases and sentenced to a total of 1 year on the 2 state jail offenses, with the sentences running concurrently, alongside a 10-year sentence for aggravated robbery. But this case raises serious questions about the consequences of a guilty plea and the agreements made in court. What do you think about the sentence and the judge's decision? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to see more real courtroom proceedings, surprising plea deals, and verdicts explained clearly, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next case.